Whew. Today we're going to be taking a recipe out of my family's cookbook. My Great Aunt Rutie's lemon bars. Here we go.
Good things are coming. Good things.
And like always, there we go. And like always, I'm going to remind everybody cooking should be fun and relaxing. So let's grab our relaxing juice. You want some too? There we go. Ooh, okay. Let's get started. There are two main parts to my Aunt Rutie's lemon bars. We're gonna have just a basic pie crust, and then we're gonna have our lemon filling. Right. Can I have that back? Nope, okay, she's gonna get super relaxed. We're gonna start with the pie crust first, because you need that to be baked a little bit before the filling goes in. What we're gonna need first is a big old mixing bowl like this. And we're gonna start off with our flour. So let's put 2 cups of flour to the mixing bowl like that. There's 1. There's a spoon for some reason. Ooh, almost 2. Actually need that spoon back now. Whoopsie. Okay, that's 2. Yeah, and it goes. We're gonna save that because we'll need some more flour here after a bit. We're gonna need a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. Ooh. There we go. And we'll hang on to this as well. We can set these 2 off to the side just so we don't knock anything over, because you don't want a bunch of flour and powdered sugar everywhere. People will think you have a cocaine addiction. Not me, of course. Not me. Just, you know, people. No. Jeez, manager, you mentioned cocaine. Yep, you mentioned cocaine. She's all over it. There we go. All right, and for those legal litigious people in the audience, that was a joke. Disclaimer, that was a joke. My manager / 1.5-year-old daughter is not doing Colombian cocaine, okay? Or any cocaine for that matter. All right, so let's grab a fork. And we're just gonna mix these 2 powders together. These 2 non-cocaine powders can go mixed together. Okay, we're doing this before we put anything else in. It's easier to mix these together right now than it is in here in a minute. All right, now if you have a sifter or something, you can totally do that. Put a little more air into there, but it'll be all right. Now keep in mind, while I'm mixing this all together, I have my oven heating behind me at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't care about Celsius, so figure that out on your own. All right, next, we need 1 cup, which is 2 full sticks of butter if you're at home keeping track. I also use unsalted butter, okay? If you want salted, it's fine, it won't ruin the dish. Chances are my Aunt Rutie was using salted butter all along. I just like unsalted butter. Alrighty. Okay, well, her hands are occupied, so hopefully I can do this. Alright, so you're gonna want a slightly chilled, just below room temperature sticks of butter. Makes it a little easier to cut and handle. Go, we're gonna dice this up into thin slices. Like so. I'll speed through the rest of this so you don't have to sit through the whole thing. Okie dokie. So we have our bowl filled with flour, powdered sugar, and sliced up butter. Whew. If you have kids at home, this is where I would involve them in the mixing process, all right? Many tiny hands will make this work out pretty well. I don't want to get her involved because I'm afraid she'll try to get high on our own supply, so to speak. All right, but we're gonna mix this thing up with our own hands, all right? And I might need to set the old manager down for this one. I can't risk all this being down there, okay? All right, she's occupied. She found the measuring... She found the measuring cup that's on the ground. So anyway, let's get mixing. All right, and it looks like when it's starting to look like little grains of pebbles, I think that's when you're on the right track. Pie crust is a little bit crumbly, so don't be afraid of that, okay? Alrighty, looks like it's starting to come together pretty well. Just like that. I got big clumps of butter in here, but that's not going to be a huge deal. It's looking as good as it's going to look. All right, so I'm actually going to leave this to rest for about, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. All right, the same thing is true for everything. The longer any mixture or cocktail gets to rest, the better the flavors will be. So I'm going to push it all down to the very bottom of this thing and give it just a few minutes to rest. Maybe with some plastic on here. All right, please excuse me. Okie dokie. Like I was saying, it's time to... Oh, hang on. Okay, so it's time to work our crust. I have some wax paper or parchment paper spread over my large cutting board. If you just have a nice granite countertop like this one, you can totally use that, but I don't want to wash the granite countertop, so here we are. I'm going to sprinkle a bit of flour down. There we go. It helps to keep the crust from sticking. Go. There we go. Pull it all out. Apparently I'm going to pull it out in clumps. There we go. This feels like a very good start to a sugar cookie as well, if you want to do that. All right. Gonna have all of our pie crust right there, ready to go. And don't worry too much if you didn't get it all mixed and mingled a ton. I'm doing this all by hand, so I have some clumps of butter here. But I'm gonna be smoothing this over, flipping it, folding it, and smoothing it again. Yep, so that'll get rid of any of those big old clumps, all right? Next, there we go. I need my rolling pin. There you go. Don't throw away your wine bottles, everybody. We're gonna flour this thing up. There you go. And we're gonna get to rolling. Okay, just gonna roll it nice and thin. Yep. Again, if you have kids at home, please get them involved in this part because it's pretty darn fun. Okay. I'm actually going to fold this over. Yeah! Yeah! There we go. And we're going to do it again. Let's just see if I can get away with using only the bottle. Oh, that's working pretty well. Okay, so in the future, don't worry about the plastic. Just use the bottle, make sure you put flour on it. There we go. All right, we're gonna rinse and repeat this until we feel like we have enough layers of butter and flour. That's what we're building. Let's see. Have you guys ever seen people making like really cool swords and whatnot, like the Japanese swords where they fold it over a bunch? That's kind of what we're doing, but with butter and flour. There we go. There we go. My dough is actually to where I want it, like with the layers of flavor and flour and whatnot, but it's starting to warm up a little bit too much. So I'm actually just gonna wrap it with plastic, tightly as I can. I'm not great at wrapping stuff with plastic. That's how I got a daughter.
Wow!
Anywho, there we go. I'm gonna wrap this guy up with plastic, keep it as tight as I can. I'm gonna put this in my bowl. I'm gonna put this whole thing in the fridge. I'm gonna leave it there for about 30 minutes. The colder this is, the easier it'll be to work. I'll see you then. All right. Took my manager on her mandatory trip to the park, so that was more like a 45-minute break instead of a half hour, but there we go. It seems that our patience bore some fruit. All right, so now we're going out to our desired shape and size. My baking pan is about 9.5 by 11.5 inches, okay? Why did I pick that? Because Costco's pans are that size. Also, that way you never forget. There we go. So now we're gonna roll this guy out to our desired size. Now, full disclosure, the recipe I'm using is aiming for an 8 by 13 inch pan. So we'll have to make some adjustments as we go. But I'm gonna finish rolling this out. I'm gonna speed through it so that way you don't have to wait and watch. All right, so now we're gonna move our dough from the paper into this 9.5 by 11.5 inch pan here. Now I don't know if this is gonna work, but the way I see everybody do it online is to roll the dough up in your pan, like so. Lift the whole thing up. Oh, it's kind of falling apart, like so. And drape it in there. Okay, that mostly worked. There we go. I'm not a master baker, so that's fine. We're just gonna patch up. We have some of these little bald spots. I'm just gonna move the dough where I want it. Bah! The original recipe calls for you to punch the dough into the bottom of the pan, so apparently Great Aunt Rutie couldn't get that trick to work either, but you know, she made do with what she had. There we go. Even this out as best we can. It's not gonna be perfect, but it'll taste pretty good. All right, we have our dough. It's not perfect, but it'll do the job. There we go. Once it's covered with all of the lemon curd, this won't matter really the way it looks. Now, if it's like a pie crust, and I think it is, we're gonna wanna poke the bottom so that way we don't get any bubbles. Okay, looks good, looks good. I already have my My oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, Celsius, go screw yourself. So I'm gonna pop this in there for about 20 minutes or until this gets light brown, okay? If you have a container that's smaller than this, you can definitely piecemeal out your dough. Just watch your color as it bakes, okay? Keep the temperature the same, 350, but you know, keep an eye on the time, of course. All right, talk to you guys in a second. And when I snap my fingers, thanks to the powers of editing, all of this will be cleaned up and it'll be ready for the lemon filling. All right, as you can see, I've got my 2 bowls and my manager decided to join me. Let's see. Ooh. Need some relaxed juice? Yeah. Ooh, she's getting real relaxed. Mm-hmm. Can I hang on to that? Okay. Ooh. Our crust is in the oven. That's baking at 350 degrees. Now it's time to work on our lemon filling. Okay. And to start with, we need... Okay, that's enough of that. That's enough. She was so relaxed. No! There we go. We need 1. Two cups of white sugar. 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Hey, nope. And 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay. Once again, we're going to combine all this with a fork. Mixing it all together. Ooh, manager's getting a little bit drowsy. We need to go lay down. I'll be right back, folks. Alright, sorry about that, everybody. My manager's taking her union required nap. So like I said, we're going to combine this with a fork. I'm going to speed through it. All right, next up in our wet bowl, we're going to combine 4 eggs. See if I can do them all without getting any shell in there. Okay, looks like I've done it. Woohoo! Alright, I'm just gonna beat these guys together real quick. Okay. Alright. Our last and arguably most important ingredient for this whole thing is lemons. Wouldn't be lemon bars without lemons. We're going to juice and zest both of these lemons, alright? So we're going to start with taking off the zest. That just means to grate off the rind as much as you can, okay? If you have dry rind or if you have dry lemon zest, that's fine too. I'm just going to do as best I can on this. Okay. Now we're going to juice these 2 lemons. Oh, Also, if you don't have a cheese grater or a zester or anything like that, if you have like a potato peeler, you can take off this rind, shove it into some sugar, leave it for a couple hours, and you'll still be able to pull out all that lemon oil. I think that's what the zest does for this recipe. If you want to see that technique, go watch last week's episode where I made lemonade. It's at the very, very beginning. I'll put it right here, and I'll try to put a time signature down in the description below. Go check that out. It's pretty useful. But anyway, next we're going to add our lemon juice. There we are, and we're going to start mixing this up. All right, now it is time to combine our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients. Now again, I'm not much of a master baker, but usually when I bake, I add my liquids into my dry ingredients. Try to make a well like so, best you can. There we go. And I'm just going to add a little bit at a time. See how that goes. Yeah, screw it. Let's just do the whole thing. All right, and now we're just going to mix it all together until it's combined. All right, that looks pretty mixed to me. Looks pretty good. I probably should have stayed with that slow and steady approach, kind of like a roux, but I got impatient. So this is what I have. All right, now keep in mind, while I was preparing this curd, my crust got done baking. So now I can just pour this directly into the crust. I gave it a good couple of minutes to cool off though. That way the egg doesn't start baking inside the crust before I put it in the oven, if that makes any sense. So we're going to take a baking tray, plop our tray inside of the other tray. That will give us a steady base when we want to lift this thing up. And now we're just going to pour this guy in. Ooh, looks pretty darn nice. There we go. Quite good. All right, and now this is going to go back into the oven, again 350 degrees for another 15 to 20 minutes, okay? Keep an eye on this so it doesn't burn. You want it to be a nice, like a little browned on top, okay? Like a really nice curd. All right, and it goes. All right, I will see everybody then. In the meantime, I'm going to start making some supper. See you then. All right, our lemon bars are fresh out of the oven right here. Looking pretty darn good. Now it just goes to show you that just because I give you a time, 15 to 20 minutes, whatever, you got to pay attention to it yourself, okay? This thing baked to 20 minutes, straight through. It still wasn't quite done. It was a little bit wiggly, all right? It still kind of looked like undone egg, okay? So I gave it another 5 minutes or so, which is fine. Gave me a chance to put the soup on. That's good. So anywho, what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this set on its own for about, I'd say 10 minutes or so. Right now that whole thing is just boiling hot, okay? So I'll see you then. Grab your relaxant juice. See you in 10. And there we have it, Great Aunt Rutie's lemon bars. Let's give her a taster. See that nice lemon curd there? That's how it's supposed to look, apparently.
Well, anyway, let me say you're welcome.
Oh my. This punches you in the face with lemon. Oh my goodness. Oh. That is great. Mm-mm. Ooh. I love this combination. The nice buttery, flaky crust with the super sweet lemony curd is a match made in heaven. You don't really need to do too much to it. Like maybe if you want to put some like a vanilla whipped cream on top, that would be pretty good. But as is, this is perfect. It's good hot. You can chill it, of course. It's good on a picnic. Oh my goodness. Well, I got Mom and my manager over there. You two want to try this out?
Yeah.
Give her a shot?
Are you done filming?
We're not done filming. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, guess who heard the words lemon bars and suddenly came running? That's right, my manager swooped in. She got to make sure it tastes good. She's the quality control. See how it goes.
Oh my god.
Ooh, we got the sour face. Ooh, we got a sour face. She likes it. Oh ho ho. Got one for Mama too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for me today. I think Great Aunt Rutie's lemon bar recipe holds up to the legend. Honestly, these things are fantastic, and if you're in a pinch for time, you can do that crust a bit early, freeze it, pull it out on the day of, kind of let it warm up and thaw out. Then all you got to do is mix up the lemon curd, and that only took me about maybe 25 minutes altogether. No time at all, really. So anywho, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys like to do for your lemon bar recipes. If this one helps you out, please let me know. I'll be sure to tell my grandma and my mom's side of the family. They'll be happy to hear that. Please give me a like, a subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize the channel. That's right. If you want other dessert recipes, click around here. I got a pumpkin bread recipe and a few, like a fruit sandwich recipe. They're all pretty good. I'll just put a link to a dessert playlist right here. Man, this is delicious. Just with a little bit of tea. Here, try it with a little bit of jasmine. My wife's trying the combo of jasmine and lemon bars. I think it's perfect. Yeah, my manager, I think I've created a monster. Anywho, if you want to buy some t-shirts, please go to my merch store and buy some t-shirts or something. Please follow me on the social medias, Instagram and Twitter /X. Oh, I think that's just about all I got for today. I did forget to do an umami joke, but we'll do that next time. It's fine. Let's go eat some lemon bars and have some soup. Not in that order. There we go. Cannot risk all this being down. Yep, can't risk all this being down there. I can't risk all of this. All right, like it's pretty much as good as it's got. Okie dokie, it is time to work our crust. 1 second. You alright, kiddo? You don't like the angle? Well, can you not play with that right now? Dad's working. Please, oh please. There we go. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. And I'm going. And I have a 9.5 by 11.5 inch baking pan. Okay? That way. Sophia, quit it. Ah. No. All right.